Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom's back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now, I could make a gameplay video covering the American Frontier and the off-road event. Obviously, there's also the Team International sailing down the highway and A-Team B-Day spectacular. There are actually a lot of events going on right now, and that's just 5 events alone outside the daily event. It's a lot of cool stuff. However, this isn't going to be today's video. Today's video, I want to cover my JPT collection. It's been a month since the update dropped, and I kind of want to see how far I have progressed. I think when it comes to JPT, this is probably my second, if not my first, fastest growing collection ever since an update dropped. I'm pretty sure that the only update that moved faster than JPT for me was most likely American Frontier. So if I jump into my cars right now and click filter, and I'm going to show you all the cars in my collection. So this is exactly a month in. So I have 156 JPT cars. That's huge. That is actually almost exceeding the amount of Great Exhibition I have. I do believe maybe in a couple weeks time, I should have more JPT cars than GE cars, and most likely American Dream cars as well, and it will only be behind American Frontier. That's pretty huge. So I have 156 JPT cars, and if I was just going to show you my fully upgraded ones, that is 116. So I've basically maxed out 116 cars in about a month. At least, because outside of that, I maxed a couple rare chargers, I maxed a couple of ultra rares that aren't JPT. So give or take, within this month, I think I've maxed about 120 to 125 cars, which is kind of bonkers. So today I want to show you my JPT collection and what looks like a month down the line. No, I know this is the second time I'm doing this. I'm not going to be showing you my JPT collection every 2 weeks or so. It's just that, you know, it's been a month. I've worked a lot on this collection, and I kind of want to show you what are the cars that I've been using and what are the cars where I thought that I would use, but I didn't really use. So in my JPT collection, as you can see, the bulk of it is in uncommons. I had a target for this update. I wanted to collect every single new update JPT uncommon and max every single one. It's kind of like what I did with American Frontier. For American Frontier, I wanted to collect every single super rare and max every single one. I did that, and now with JPT, I'm doing the same for uncommons, because as I said in yesterday's Blossom Choice reveal, JPT has changed the Loa meta. They got a lot of new cars in here, a lot of good cars in here, and I want to collect all of them. So I'm gonna give you the quick breakdown: 14 commons, 42 uncommons, 26 rare, 38 super rare, 27 ultra, 7 epics, and 2 legendary. So without further ado, let's just start off with the line. So here with the commons, I have 2 K-Works. These are Blossom choices because not only do they have great handling for RQ10, not only does it have a 0 to 60 of under 10 seconds, it also has medium ground clearance and is really light, weighing it at 727 kgs. So I got 2 of those. I got 2 of the Cappuccinos. The Suzuki Swift doesn't look too bad either. For RQ13, 74 with standard tires, not too bad in my opinion. But then again, a lot of these JPT lower end cars are really enticing. So I have the Nissan Skyline, the Duo, the GTEL, and the GTEX. We also have the Nissan Patrol. Now, this is a car which I've expected that maybe I'll be using quite a bit. That being said, though, I don't think I've ever used it once. I've used it twice, and it lost both races. So, I don't know. I see a little bit of potential in this just because it's 4-wheel drive, it's all surface tires, it's relatively lightweight for a car of its niche. So, I do hope that it will win me some races, but like I said, the common meta is so hard to determine. At the end of the day, I'm probably just going to stick to the Fiesta and the other Blossom Choice car, the Alto, but I don't have that yet. So I have the Nissan President Sovereign. This is a beautiful looking car. I am a sucker for Japanese car plates. This has a Japanese car plate. I don't think I'm going to be using it too much. I'm only having it here for the collection, only because it looks nice, because I like the car. But at the end of the day, a standard tire car that doesn't handle is the car that I'm barely ever going to use. I have 3 Nissan 260Zs. Those those cars have been dropping like flies for me, mainly because it has the Summer Games tag, and I was opening a lot of the Summer Game plastic packs to try and look for a Fiesta. So I got 3 of those and I maxed all 3 of them, and of course the Wing Road looks really good. The Nissan Skyline, once again, I mean, all of these Skylines don't look like I'll be using them too much. They seem like all-rounders, right? You know, like relatively high top speed for a common, you know, you know, yee 0 to 60. The handling isn't that good. They just look like hybrids that I'll never really use. It'll be interesting to see what niche Hutch can utilize for the common Skylines to actually have, you know, a field day. So moving on to my uncommons now, I'm really proud of this because I have every single JPT uncommon max. I can tell you what I've been using more, what I've been using less. Literally everything here I have not used besides the Kara. Obviously with the Summer Games tag, I've been using it quite a bit, but yeah, 77 races with a 90% win ratio. This thing is no joke. I haven't used the rest. However, the Sunny Turbo is looking like a really good car. Great stats, medium ground clearance, but so far I've only raced it 5 times, but that's a really good win ratio for 5 races. Now moving on the list, the Nissan Silvia J is one of those cars where I thought I would be using a lot, but there just hasn't been any opportunities. At the end of the day, when it comes to RQ23, you're gonna want to use the Dodge Slingshot. Though this has really good handling at 87, just not as good as the Slingshot. So I'm kind of waiting for like a Japanese uncommon event in clubs, and hopefully then I would be given the chance to use the Nissan Silvia J. Now I haven't used anything else. The Nissan Leaf is fantastic, but I haven't used it as much. Only 8 races with a 75% win ratio. Once again, I'm kind of waiting for those uncommon events in clubs or those uncommon Japanese events in clubs. I haven't seen a lot of those yet, and usually they show up. They showed up all the time before JPT, but I haven't seen them that much, so I haven't used these uncommons as much as I wanted to, especially the Leaf, especially the Silvia. Mighty Boy, here's an interesting one. So I have one, 233, just so I can maximize that 0 to 40. This was actually the first Mighty Boy I got. The first one I got was 233, 4 races only, and my second one here is 323. I don't think I've raced this once. No, I've raced it 3 times actually. Another car which I had a lot of high hopes for was the Nissan Silvia Varietta. I haven't used it that much either. I think I've used the 240 SX a decent amount of times. 5 races. Okay, so not really a decent amount of times, but 100% win ratio. Yeah, like I said, this is a Blossom choice, a new one, a great hybrid. You know, it just kind of ticks off, you know, all the right categories. Like the handling is just good enough. The 0 to 60 is just good enough, right under 7 seconds. Top speed isn't very high, but it really doesn't matter when it comes to a twisty car like this. And of course, it is relatively lightweight, under 1,200 kgs. Another car which ended up being a little bit, I don't know, a bit disappointing for me was the Subaru Impreza. Now this car did not make Blossom choice. I thought it was going to because, you know, once again, it's 80 handling, 4-wheel drive, standard, medium, but it just loses to like cars like the Chevy Volt or the Mazda Eunice. So at the end of the day, the Mazda Eunice is still the god. You want to make that RQ space for the Mazda Eunice. So the Subaru Impreza, I maxed to out of, you know, the potential which I thought it would bring, but it kind of disappointed. Now the car that I've been using a lot, strangely enough, is the Nissan Terrano. It has all surface tires and it handles incredibly well. The downside for this car is obviously the really bad 0 to 60 and the front wheel drive performance. However, I've been using it a lot today because in clubs it's ×5 all surface tires and they're dry track sets. So this is actually a lot better than a lot of the 4-wheel drive all surface tire rares. Why those cars are, you know, higher in IQ is because they're 4-wheel drive. This isn't, but that doesn't matter when it comes to dry track sets at all surface tire ×5 in clubs. So 27 races, 67% win ratio. This is one of my more used uncommon JPT cars. Everything else here is basically untouched. The Juke I've used a couple of times, mainly because of JPT, 20 races, and last but not least, the Datsun Bluebird is probably the one I've used the most. So as you can see here, 54 races, 85% win ratio, and on my second one, it's also 54. Wow, so I have used them together every time. This thing does not disappoint. When it comes to uncommon off-road, you want to use the Bluebird. This is an absolutely fantastic car, and that's about it. Everything else I haven't used used that much. The Fair Lady, I don't think I've used it that much, to be honest. 22 races, okay, it's not that often. But anyway, let's move on to the rares now. So I've maxed out a lot of rares. I've maxed out every single JPT rare besides 4. So I'm making it my goal to get every single JPT rare as well. I think I'm only missing like 2 Suzuki Jimneys, 1 Nissan Fairlady, and 1 other car. I can't remember which it is. But once again, most of these cars I've never touched. The Nissan Skyline R30 I've used a lot because this is one of my favorite cars. So 31 races, 61% win ratio. But that isn't saying much. I use this car when I race against bots in clubs. So that isn't really saying much. So I just wanted to use it because I like it. Now, this Subaru Impreza, unlike its uncommon variant, this one's a lot better. Which is weird because it has the same handling as the uncommon variant. But like I said, this is able to go toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano with the BMW i3S. And that is a fantastic car. 42 races, 52% win ratio. You know what? That's okay with me. You know, it really depends though. The win ratio depends on the car. Obviously, if it's 52% on like a legendary or an epic, that would be really bad. Obviously, I have my Stega army. Every Stega I've collected, I have maxed. No, this is not going to get the Dodge Charger treatment. I'm probably going to get 5 and stick it at 5. So I'll have 5 max Stegas. I think that would be enough. I'm pretty sure that one of them I used a lot more than the others. So this one is 4 races, 0% win ratio. Yikes. That's 9 races. How about this one? 17. So we're getting higher, and that's a 6% win ratio. That is really low. And that's 1%. So not looking good in terms of win ratios for the Stega, but I have to say it's a really good car. I think the main reason why their win ratios are so low is because I would put them against ultra rares, and they would only lose by 50, right? So even then, that's actually a win. I also have 3 Subaru Exigas. I have 2 max, planning to max a 3rd one. I'm currently wrapping up my 2nd Silvia K, so I have 2 Silvia Ks max, and then my 2 Pathfinders. Basically, the rest of rares I want to do is after the Silvia K is done, I'm going to work on a 2nd Pathfinder because I think it's cool. Not because it's good, I think it's cool. My 3rd Exiga, and then I'm going to look for the final 4 rares that I need. So basically 7 more JPT rares and I'm done with the rare collection. I'm basically done with the uncommon collection already, just looking for more leaves. If I drop more leaves, I'll get more leaves and max more leaves. So moving on to super rares, unlike American Frontier, I don't think I'm going to be collecting and maxing every JPT super rare. I hate maxing super rares, and when it comes to JPT cars, the passion just isn't the same when it is with American Frontier. Obviously, I love American Frontier cars. They had Dodge, they had, you know, the Mopar family, the Chrysler family, but here, you know, I'm kind of just picking and choosing. A lot of these earlier super rares were maxed out of hype. So the Infinity was maxed out of hype because it was a new update. The hype, I have to say, is dying down. Let me know down in the comments below if that JPT hype is still running for you, though. You know, the Bluebird, SSS Atessa, I maxed that out of hype. What else did I max out of hype? I think it was the Nissan. Yeah, the Nissan Cedric I maxed out of hype. However, there are some really good cars in here, kind of like the Silvia Spec R, you know, the Cherry Coupe. I plan to max a 2nd Cherry Coupe. I got 2 Frontiers in the Frontier army. I think I have 9. 3. I have 10. I thought I fused one, but I guess I haven't because I knew I had 10 and I thought I fused one, so I said 9. Nope, I still have 10. I'll probably get rid of them soon. At the end of the day, I don't even think I'll be keeping like 5. Maybe 3 would be good enough because they are king in the snow. But when it comes to dirt and sand, you're better off the Datsun still. And I have 4 Datsuns max. So those are all the super rares. I do want to max out the Nissan Sima though. Like, I really love how this car looks. It's like a knockoff Mercedes, but it still doesn't look that bad. It's like if the Mercedes, because it has that Mercedes grille, right? If a Mercedes and like a Lincoln Continental had a baby, you know, one of those old Continentals you'd see in New York. Like if they had a baby, that's what it would be. It has the Continental shape, but it has a Mercedes grille. So yeah, I think it's a good looking car though. So I want to max it out. And of course I have the Fair Lady. I'm calling this the Fair Lady. I grew up calling this the Fair Lady. I'm going to call it the Fair Lady some more. Moving on to Ultra Rares now. Now I do have quite a bit of Ultra Rares max. A lot of the Nissans and Infinities are already maxed. So the Pulsar Nismo looks really good. 5093 with medium ground clearance for RQ50 is a bargain. insane. 8 races, 100% win ratio. I'm actually interested to see which car has done the most races. It's probably the Legacy because I use it in the Tri-Series. 57 races on this, and I did more races on the Legacy because I had the Legacy before the Lavoric, so it's probably the Legacy. This was one of the first, I think this was the second ever JPT car I maxed. 25 races, 84% win ratio. It did help me a lot in summer games, to be fair, so shout out to that. Never ever used the QX60 though. 10 races, and I'm pretty sure that was all from racing against bots in clubs. Yeah, this one looks pretty cool. This one I almost upgraded wrong, by the way. Like, I was almost going to do 3-2-3, and I was like, hold up, wait a minute. This is an ultra rare. I should be doing a 2-3-3. So I fixed that. Luckily, I realized the Q50 looks really good, okay? For a medium ground clearance car, 4.289, that looks really solid. 10 races, but I've never raced 10 days. Never raced it once, but I have to say it looks solid. I'm waiting for an Infinity event. I don't think there's going to be an Infinity Tri-Series exclusively because Infinity doesn't have any legendaries that you can unpack, but there are going to be Infinity events down the line now because there are a lot more cars in its brand, and I'm pretty sure cars like the Q50S and the QX60 are going to help me. I'm also currently working on the Q60. As you can see, it has one upgrade into it, but I have no fuse. So I'm gonna save up to 11 mil, do a 1 million pack opening, and we'll get 30 fuse and can max 2 more ultra rares basically. Now I know how I know that it's been a month since the update is because this is my first ever JPT car, and I've had it for 30 days. So yeah, obviously I was like, oh, it's been a month, I can make a video on, you know, basically my 1 month update. Once again, I got the Suzuki Ignis. Really interested to see how this is medium though. But yeah, it's medium, it's a Blossom choice, low 0 to 60, incredibly lightweight, 95 handling. Like I said, it's like a TCR but a lower RQ and medium, which is like a really cool thing. I haven't used it once though, I think. Yeah, 0 races because the last 2 times it was front wheel drive. I thought they fixed the slots. I guess it's still kind of buggy. The last 2 times I were front wheel drive in clubs, it was like all wet, so I couldn't use it. Let's see, Subaru Forester. This car I'll remember forever. I maxed this out when I got my 2nd dose of my vaccine. So yeah, that is going to be a memory that's going to be stuck with this car forever. When I think of this car, I think of my vaccine. And then I got 2 Nissan Silvia 200 SXs. This thing is absolutely fantastic. It's better than the RQ60 Nissan because it handles better. And when it comes to off-road, handling is all you want. I'm probably going to max out a 3rd one down the line. Basically everything here I want to max. I want to max the Crosstrek. I want to max the Xterra. I want to max the Sylvia, but all my ultra projects are kind of on pause right now because I don't have any fuse. I know what you're saying, Blossom, you can just get rid of all your frontiers. I probably will. I'm pretty sure that I was keeping all those frontiers just so I could flex in this video. After that, they're all gone. Yes, I'm really happy to get this. This was probably one of my most wanted ultra rares for JPT just because the picture on this is sexy. 4.295, I mean, it's great stats in this as well. I've raced it 0 times though, jeez. I have to say though, I think I've raced the Sylvia quite a bit of times now. 61 on this one, and how many on this? 24. Okay, pretty good win percentages though. C2, probably raced it a bunch of times, right? 75. Yep, C2 is a great car. The Legacy STI, that's okay. That's a Leo car right there. Impreza. I think this is the one that I've used the most. So the Legacy BW, that's over 100. Yep, 137 races, 96% win ratio. And I'm not racing against bots. I am racing against actual opponents in clubs, and I use this car for the entirety of the ACRX Tri-Series. And it has a 96% win ratio. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I think that this is gonna go epic, and I really hope that I get 5 of these before they go up because this car is ridiculously good. Now moving on to the epics. You guys know this already. I maxed all these epics literally just so I could get my Dodge. I'm never gonna use these 3 Subaru WRXs ever again. At least these 2. This one will never use again. This one will never use, unless it's a JPT hot hatch event. Maybe I will use this, but if it isn't JPT and it isn't hot hatch, or if it's not Japan and hot hatch, I'm never using these 2 again. The Bluebird, I've gotten so much use. I'm gonna say 250 races. Okay, 150. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I've used it a lot. Here you go. I've used it a lot, a 90% win ratio. Once again, this is a card that I've raced against actual opponents, and to have a win ratio that high is absolutely ridiculous. This thing kills, you know, the lower end Raptors, the old Raptor, the 68. It kills the Colorado. It kills the 037 on select track sets. It kills like the Ford Escort Rally. It's amazing. The Bluebird is ridiculous. And last but not least is the Impreza, right? I feel like unlike the other two Imprezas I maxed, this will kind of have its day because it has the 2005 niche. And we haven't seen a 2005 final yet. We've seen 2006, we've seen 2001, 2000, 2004, 2009, 2007. We haven't seen 2005. So maybe, since this is one of the better 2005 cars, I might be using it again, but I'm not going to keep my hopes up. I also have the Hayabusa. I love this. Super lightweight, handles incredibly well. Obviously isn't going to beat a Donk or a Super Light or maybe even a JPE, but when it comes to Japanese events, this is basically probably the third best thing to a Furai. I think the second best thing is probably going to be that Nissan Silvia. But last but not least are going to be the two Slick Tire Legendaries. Yep, I'm pretty happy. The last time I did a review on my JPT, I think I had like 3 epics and no legends. So we've come a long way. Both of these I unpacked on my journey to get the ACRX, and ironically I couldn't use either for the final. I got this from my qualifiers carbon fiber, and I got this from the 15 JPT carbon fibers. I'm really happy to get the Legacy though, because it has that saloon niche. It doesn't have, you know, 4 doors, but it does have like 4 window panels, I guess. So I guess it classifies as a saloon. I'll take it as it goes. And of course the Zanami, amazing car, 100 MRA. It handles incredibly well. Always happy to have a slick tire piece in my garage. But that's it. 1 month of JPT. Looking pretty good. I kind of want to go back and watch, I think, my 1 month of American Frontier and see which went up at a faster pace. It was American Frontier. I think it was American Frontier because 1 month into American Frontier, I had a max legendary already. That's when I maxed Syracuse, and I also had a max Mustang GT4. But you know what? Not too shabby. It started off pretty slow with JPT, but it kind of picked up at the end, kind of within like 2 days when I pulled the Zanavi and the Legacy and the Impreza WRX and the Hayabusa. Like all these 4 cars came in the same week. Like let's look at it. Okay, 7 days. Okay, 7 days. Okay, 7 days, and I think it was 9 days, 12 days. Okay, well, yeah, so there you go. They all kind of came in around the same time. But anyway, that's my JPT collection. Let me know what your JPT collection is looking like, and I hope you guys have a great day. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.